For most of us in this room, it was probably checking our phones, maybe even before getting out of bed. This seemingly innocent habit is a part of a larger pattern that's fundamentally changing how our brains and our bodies function. I've analyzed 3 recent peer-reviewed studies from leading medical journals published between 2021 and 2023. These studies reveal concerning patterns about our screen habits. According to a 2023 study in the Journal of American College Health, college students now spend over 6 hours daily on their devices. That's more time than most spend on physical activity, face-to-face conversation, and even sleeping in some cases. Today, we'll examine how screen time disrupts our sleep cycles, impacts our cognitive functioning, and what practical steps we can take to protect ourselves. Let's begin by looking at how our devices are affecting one of our most basic biological needs, sleep. According to Dr. Schmidt's 2021 study in Clocks and Sleep, blue light exposure from our screens severely impacts our sleep hormones. Melatonin is a critical hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. It's naturally produced by the body in response to darkness, signaling that it's time to sleep. However, the blue light emitted by our devices suppresses melatonin production by up to 40%, and this disruption can last for up to 2 hours after screen use. This disruption is particularly strong in young adults, reducing the restorative slow-wave sleep in the first quarter of the night by 25%. This disruption in our sleep hormones creates cascading effects beyond just poor sleep quality. Cortisol is another important hormone. It's a part of our natural awakening response, providing us with energy and alertness in the morning. The blue light from screens interferes with this natural cortisol pattern, creating a sort of jet lag effect, even without any travel. This hormone imbalance impacts our next day functioning, reducing morning alertness by up to 30% and affecting our cognitive performance throughout the entire day. And while these physical effects on our sleep and hormones are concerning, what's happening to our brain's ability to function might even be more troubling. Dr. Hartanto's 2023 research in the British Journal of Psychology reveals an important finding. It's not just the total time spent on screens that's problematic, but rather the frequent checking and interruptions. The study shows that each time we check our phones, it disrupts our focus and attention for up to 23 minutes. On average, the typical student already faces a staggering 150 of these interruptions from their device every single day. These constant disruptions create measurable cognitive costs, including a 37% increase in daily task errors and significant decline in our ability to maintain sustained attention. In terms of memory and learning, this kind of habit of multimedia multitasking leads to a 28% reduction in our ability to retain information. It also decreases our capacity to effectively transfer new information into our long-term memory. But the impacts go beyond just memory. Complex thinking and problem solving also suffer. Studies show our problem-solving abilities drop by 20% when our phones are present. And creative thinking seems to be particularly impacted by these frequent interruptions from our devices. Now that we understand these concerning effects on our cognitive functions, let's explore what research says we can actually do to protect ourselves. According to Lavados-Romo's 2023 study, the timing of when we use our screens seems to be the most important factor. The research found that creating a simple 2-hour screen-free window before bedtime can actually improve our sleep quality by up to 60%. And establishing a morning routine without phones increases our productivity by as much as 45%. And it's not just about when we use the devices, but also how we use them. Certain strategies focused on quality of usage can also be very effective. For example, creating designated tech-free zones like our bedrooms or study areas can help us maintain boundaries. We can also adopt specific usage patterns like batch processing notifications at set times or using focus mode features during important tasks. And actively managing our overall screen time through tracking, goal setting, and regular digital wellness check-ins can go a long way as well. Let me wrap up by highlighting why making these types of changes to our screen habits really matters. We've examined how screen time affects our sleep cycles and physical well-being, daily cognitive functioning and mental performance, and overall productivity and focus. We've also discussed practical strategies that research shows can help protect ourselves. Remember that morning phone check-in we talked about at the start? While it might seem harmless, we now understand its broader impacts on our sleep quality, ability to think clearly, and daily performance. The research indicates there are steps we can take to mitigate the effects of excessive screen time, such as creating phone-free zones and setting specific times to check notifications. The key is not about completely eliminating screens, but rather using them more intentionally to protect our physical and mental well-being. Thank you.